Here we are. It is a wonderful Saturday. It is July 12th. It's been 2 weeks since the Middleman Podcast has recorded. Last time we did an episode 142 was at Encore Studios, but today we're back in-house for episode 143 of the Middleman Podcast featuring my guy, Nas. Nas, welcome to the show.
What's up, baby?
Thank you for being here, man.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad that we connected and we had this conversation because the way we met is pretty unique as compared to all the other people who usually come on the show.
Right.
We met right out the back over here.
Yes, sir.
Because you were actively working. And as a matter of fact, quick shout out for Baker Immaculate because I was wearing their hoodie. I was wearing like their brown or pink hoodie.
Yeah.
And that's what struck the conversation. Like, yo, what's that hoodie, bro? That shit's fire. And then, you and I started talking and I was telling you I run a podcast and, you have your own painting business and multiple businesses. And, we've been meeting to have this conversation. So I'm glad you're here. Thank you for taking the time out of the day and being here today. Yeah,
thanks for having me, man. Yeah, I ran into you in the back of the building. I was painting the Penn Ave building over there.
Yes. And
I saw the fire hoodie. Hoodie's definitely fire. Shout out to Baker Immaculate, man. Keep doing your thing. I'm a fellow brand creator, visionary. So when I see good vision and a lot of potential, man, I acknowledge it. So keep going. I'm going to get somewhere a lot further than where you are today.
Most certainly. And today, for those of you watching at home, is we're continuing the Atmosphere tour today. Quick shout out to Atmosphere. We are heading into the Mesosphere today with Psycho, Alien Sue, and Lil Shaputin. Sounds by DJ AR, located at the Loft. By the time you see this, the recap video should have already been out, shot by our honorary cameraman of the day here. Michael took the day off. Shout out Colo TV. Thank you for being here because without him here, we would not be able to record. So tonight we have the Mesosphere. It's a really busy Saturday. Things are falling into place, but we still got to work, man. Every day we still got to work. So I'm exhausted. I'm drinking a Red Bull middle of the show, but we're here. We're hardworking men. And, you are a laborer such as I, and there's a different type of tiredness that comes with that type of work, because as well as being on the labor side of it, outside of the work, you're constantly working on developing your business.
Right.
And you're physically and mentally tired, man.
Right.
You're physically and mentally tired. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, but we're still here. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Don't forget emotionally.
Emotionally, yo.
Don't forget emotionally.
Hit that bell for me one time, please.
Don't forget.
Emotionally, this shit is exhausting, bro. My emotion, Colo witnesses the other day, man. It's like 10 minutes, man. I went from like super down to like calm to like fired up to like happy in 10 minutes. And I was like, I don't think this is healthy.
Right. Got to learn how to control it, man. It takes a lot of time, honestly. There's no time limit on it. Everyone's different. But speaking of labor and working, man, I actually got off work around like 1 o'clock yesterday.
1 a.m.?
1 a.m., bro.
My goodness.
I started at 6 a.m., got off at 1 a.m. because, I got a painting business and an oil business actively. It's the most active businesses I have. And my oil business needed attention, so I left my painting business around like 3 p.m. yesterday to go take care of the oil stuff with my business partner, Tyree. And we didn't get done until 1 a.m. So,
wow.
And I was like, on my way back, I'm like, oh, shoot, I got a podcast in the morning. And I'm like, wait, let me see what time it is because I got to make it, man. So I want to get enough rest. So then I looked at the time, it was like 11 a.m. I was like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. I can make that happen.
I was glad that we were able to, we pushed it back a little bit, so that worked out in your favor, I'm sure.
Yeah, 1,000%, because I was gone last week, to DR. So I'm happy you had enough time to make space to be able to push it back the way we needed to.
Well, tell us about DR, bro. How's the vacation?
It was beautiful, bro. It was beautiful. We went for my best friend's birthday, and we didn't have a lot of time to play around with because of work and all the things we got going on. So we went out there for like 3 days, and we went to Punta Cana, Rio, Bavaro, ate a bunch of food, went to go see the beach, had a good time.
That's awesome, bro.
Had a good time.
And was that your first time in?
My first time in.
I've never been. I got to go. I'm making it a point this year, not this year, but next year, to get outside the country.
Yeah.
To be able to go somewhere else.
First time outside the country, too. It's like, I just got my passport. I've been meaning to get my passport years ago. I've been all over the States, but every year I'm like, I'm going to get my passport this year and travel with them. I just keep BSing it. This year I got it. I'm gone now. I'm never probably traveling within the States again. Honestly, I'm just going to travel the country now.
What was so different from the vacations within the state as compared to outside the country?
It's just the energy, bro. Like the energy and just seeing things like outside the States, yeah, you see things that's different, but like not like that. You know what I mean? Like, and granted, DR is a beautiful place, but at the same time, like it's underdeveloped. You know what I mean? So it's sad, but it's also eye-opening and it humbles you even more. And I'm a very humble guy already. So for that to humble me, I'm just like, damn, I gotta see more. It's a lot more out here I need to see for me to get my mind where I want it. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, that's where my head is at with that.
So you went there and you took a break physically, mentally, but also just like self-absorbed and self-reflected, self-reflected on yourself and the things that you have here as compared to what they have out there, and it's a different ballgame, huh?
Exactly. Okay. Exactly.
I'm gonna have to do that, man, because I've heard that before, and I want to be able to remain as humble and see different things and live or see other lifestyles, because it's unique to think like that this world does not revolve around you and that everyone has a different life and a different way of a lifestyle, you know, which is it's pretty entertaining. It's pretty interesting to learn that. So, but tell me a little bit about yourself, man. You know, you're an entrepreneur, surreal entrepreneur. But what were you doing prior to entrepreneurship? You know, you had mentioned, you know, you grew up in Philly. You have a basketball background, as well as a little bit of an acting background. But let's hear the development of you turning into an entrepreneur, because, you know, at some point as you're growing up, you were like, I don't want to work for no one. I want to work for myself.
Right.
So, but before we get into that, I kind of want to hear a little bit of a backstory. You said you grew up in Philadelphia. So
Yep. So I grew up in Philadelphia, Southwest Philly to be exact, 58th Street. I had a rough but also like stable upbringing. It was like a good 50-50, you know. My father was in my life when I was a baby, then wasn't in my life as I got a little older because of being incarcerated and stuff like that. So, you know, my mom took care of me a lot of the time. And so growing up in Philly, it's Philly, man. If you know about it, it's rough. You know, you gotta watch your back. You gotta know your stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you don't fall into the wrong holes and drown in them. So I was around a lot of the wrong people, but I learned from their mistakes, so I wouldn't, you know, fall into the same things they were falling into, and then I would separate myself once I seen them fall into those mistakes, you know, and that's what really kept me afloat. And when my father came back around like middle school time, or actually no, like around like elementary school time, I moved back with him out here. Well, I moved out with him for the first time out here in Scranton. So that was around like 5th grade. So I moved here from 5th grade to like 6th grade. Then he got arrested again while I was out here. So then I stayed out here with a friend of mine from 6th to 8th grade.
I'm sorry to interrupt. So you came from Philadelphia with your father only?
With my father only.
And then that happened. So then you're young and you're in a house without a parent.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep.
So like, does the law help you with that at all? Or you kind of had to fend for yourself and figure it out?
I just kind of fended for myself. So I wasn't like just by myself, like literally just in the house by myself, but I stayed with a friend and their parents. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I just me and my dad, he got incarcerated. So I stayed here. My friend just didn't want me to leave. My friend's family, like everyone here didn't want me to leave because they knew what was back there in Philly, you know, and who knows what could have happened, honestly. So thank God I didn't go back at that time. And my mom, she was just kind of like leaving it up to me because even though I was young, she knew I had a good mind on my, you know, a good head on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And she also knew what was in Philly too. You know what I mean? She kind of knew what was best for me. So I stayed here, kept going to school, kept playing basketball. All this time, you know, I was playing basketball, playing football too. And then after 8th grade, my dad still didn't come home yet. So my mom was like, all right, it's time for you to come back. You know, you finished middle school. You just been gone for too long, you know what I mean? Without anyone there with you. So I went back to Philly for 9th grade. From 9th to 11th grade, I went back to Philly actually. And all within that time, man, I'm just, you know, just trying to figure it out as a kid. Still playing basketball, still trying to make it to the NBA. That was really my mindset then. I always felt like I wasn't going to work for anyone. I never really had a job until I was in, I want to say like 9th grade. Well, no, like 11th, 12th grade. is when I was at a job because I heard this thing called Job Corps in Scranton
Yes.
High.
Yep.
And the only reason why I got that job was because you can get out of school early.
Okay, it was like one of those. Well, I get it.
Yeah, it was like Job Corps. So you got out of school early, like if you said you had a job or you actually had a job, you can get out like 11 a.m. or whatever and go to work or something
People
like that.
take advantage of that. You ain't got work. You just going home.
I really was because I really only worked on the weekends. So I was
Wow. You're like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta go to work.
man. I worked at Red Lobster, man. I was cleaning dishes.
Ooh.
So that was definitely like a good job to start at because it was humbling. At the same time, I was like, yeah, see, I knew I didn't want to work because this is not for me, man.
Yeah.
Cleaning other people's dishes. And then
Never in my life have I worked in a restaurant industry. Like
yeah.
cooking or serving or anything like that. I've worked on their equipment as a HVAC tech,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never done that. And it seems like a tough job, extremely tough, especially starting out at a dishwasher.
Yeah.
You're making pennies at that point, for
making
real.
pennies, man.
Yeah.
Making pennies. So I was doing that. And I'm like, I got to do what I got to do to keep some money in my pocket and keep playing basketball without going the wrong ways, looking for money. You know what I mean? And I was doing that. And then after that, I started working at Enterprise.
Nice. So salesman.
Yeah, well, no, Enterprise, I was a driver. I was a driver
okay.
there, yeah. So I was a driver, and then I started working at the University of Scranton. This is all going from high school into college now, right?
Mhm.
So now I'm a freshman in college, and I'm working at Enterprise, and I am working at Scranton University.
Did you go to college at Scranton University?
No, I went to Lackawanna College.
Okay.
I went to Lackawanna College, and I went to Scranton Penn State.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so at this time, I was going to Scranton Penn State. Lackawanna College, I didn't go until a little later. But yeah, I was doing all that, and then after I was working there, I was like, all right, man, I always wanted to have my own clothing brand. I was like, what can I do that I love to do and make money from it? You know what I mean? So I was like, I love to get dressed. I love to
Very fashionable.
Yeah, I love to design clothes.
Nice watch,
Appreciate
by
it.
the way, bro. That shit's
Thank you, bro.
That shit's fire.
So then I'm like, I'm gonna start my own brand. You know what I mean? And I always had this thing called can't compare. Like, I don't know. I just felt like I never could be compared to anyone.
Was that a mantra of yours?
Yeah.
Do you know when that started?
That started in like 2019.
Can't compare. You had mentioned earlier that like at the age of, when you're in 6th, 7th grade, your mother had known that you have a good head on your shoulders and, you have a good mind. Early on at that young of an age, what do you think helped develop the wiseness, to be ahead of your age group, essentially, in the head mentally?
Honestly, my dad and my mom, like my dad, he had the entrepreneurship mindset, even though he was going to jail and stuff like that, it was because he was trying to make money his own ways. And at the same time he was doing that, he had a record label and
nice.
Stuff like that. And then my mom, she was just a hard worker. You know what I mean? She never really had an entrepreneurship mindset, but she just will always work hard, like day and night.
Do you think, seeing that from your family is like how you developed your way into this path? Do you think if you lived in a parallel universe and your parents weren't doing that, do you think you would still have that same drive to be an entrepreneur for yourself?
I think so because, like, I think they helped build my values, but they didn't build me entirely because I was heavy on like YouTube and stuff like that. Like I was self-educating myself. Like I was watching Bandman Kivo.
YouTube University.
Yeah, I was, YouTube University. Like when it first really was like YouTube before
when it had the TV as a
like before people really started like selling courses online and stuff like that. Like people were just hyped to just make a video and tell about their stories and
correct
and teach you for free. You know what I mean? So I was taking advantage of that. Like I learned how to do Turo on YouTube.
What's Turo? I've heard it.
Turo is a car rental company.
Okay.
So that's one of my first endeavors other than my clothing line.
Yes.
That I started after college and stuff like that. Once I figured out basketball wasn't going to work, I started putting all my energy and time into, endeavors like basically entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? That was my next goal because as a basketball player, you have this drive and this ambition to go hard and I just applied that to everything with entrepreneurship, bro. I was like, listen, if I couldn't make it here and I try my hardest, then okay, I'm gonna try something else to still make it there financially. You know what I mean? So,
power, small forward.
I was a small forward.
Yeah.
I was a small forward, but sometimes I'd be putting the power. Sometimes I'd be a shooting guard.
You're pretty tall.
I was like a mixed guard. Yeah, man. Because I could jump, I could shoot a little bit, I could drive. So
All right, I would love to play some basketball with you if you still got it in you.
I still got it in me, man. I still got it in me a little bit.
You're young yet. You know, you're extremely young. You're just as, I think you're 1 year younger than I am. I'm 27. You're 26, correct?
Yep.
Dude, you look much older than you know,
yeah, I don't know. I keep getting there. I don't like that.
It's good. No. I think it has to do with the professionalism and the aesthetic, you know, how you present yourself.
Right.
You know, I think if people are looking at you from afar, they would probably, you know, presume that you are doing well for yourself,
right?
Because of how you present yourself and you put yourself together. Okay,
yeah,
so take it as a compliment, bro. Don't.
That's dope.
Don't take it as a bad way.
Yeah, I take it as a compliment. I just every other way I take it as a compliment. Then I look at myself like, damn, I look that old.
Nah, you look like a 32-year-old as an adult, but like a professional, well-maintained adult. You know, like if you're 32 and you're relatively in shape, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it starts falling downhill as you get older. You start to get a little bit bigger because you're not moving as much.
Yeah.
So can't compare. Okay, can't compare. Let's go back to that. You had mentioned that. Excuse me, it was something that you kind of just had as a mantra for yourself. Can't compare.
Yep.
People can't compare themselves to you. People can't compare themselves to your drive, your work ethic. What can't they compare themselves to?
Yeah, you just can't compare themselves to not even just themselves. So as a person, even not just me, you know, originally it started as just me, obviously. Like I can't be compared to anyone. You know what I mean? I'm just different.
Yep.
That was my whole thing. I'm just different, unique. But then I turned it into like basically like whoever's wearing the brand, whoever understands the brand, you should need to understand that you just can't be compared. Like everyone is their own person. And so no matter how much you say as a person, you want it to be like everyone else, you know what I mean? Like, but it would never actually work because you have your own values, you have your own morals, your own principles, you know what I mean? So like you can never entirely be someone else because your genetics just won't let it happen. You know what I mean? So you can't be compared.
I like that, man. I like that. And so you started a clothing brand after college. You said after college. So did you finish out college?
No, I didn't graduate.
Okay.
I did not graduate. I just, going through college, I was just like, I feel like it's just, I don't know. It just felt like it was taking my money, bro. Like,
yeah.
Like after, because I went there for business administration.
Okay.
Right? And they was really just teaching you supply and demand. So I've learned supply and demand. I was like, all right, that's a really important part of business, you know, but moral of the story is that in college, they just teach you how to be a boss of someone else's company. They don't teach you how to be a boss of yourself. So they teach you how to be a CEO of someone else's company. You know what I mean? Like, they don't teach you how to start your own business. They don't teach you how to start an LLC. They don't teach you how to get funding. They don't teach you how to get your credit right. They don't teach you all the things you need to know to actually start your own business. They teach you how to go to school, you know, educate yourself, and go find that job and then work for that person as hard as you need to work for, or understand the stuff that they already have going for the company. You know what I mean? But they don't teach you how to start your own stuff. So
why do you think that is? Do you think they do that on purpose?
Yes, I do.
Yeah?
I do. Because I think they do that on purpose.
When you went into business administration, was it presented as, you know, like the major itself? Was it falsely presented? Let's just put it that way. Was it falsely presented?
I wouldn't say it's falsely presented because it really depends on how you interpret it. You know what I mean? Because business administration is a very broad term. You know what I mean? Like a business is any company, and administration is like, you know, you're administering it. You're taking care of it. You're controlling it almost. You know what I mean? So it's just all about how you interpret it. And that was the closest I can get to what I wanted to do. Like, so I wanted to be an entrepreneur and I needed to learn something closest to that. So I was like, looked at all the things they had, and business administration was the only one.
Gotcha.
So that was what I had to do.
And so for how many years or semesters did you do that until you were like, you know what? I'm out of here. You're wasting my time.
I think it was like a year, maybe 2 years. I think it was like 2 years.
And it's a 4-year course, I'm assuming?
Yeah. It was 3 semesters.
Okay.
It was 3 semesters. Gotcha. Yeah, it was 3 semesters because you got spring, fall, and so it was 3 semesters I made it through before I was just like, yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah.
So then you decided to start the clothing brand as your first entrepreneur endeavor, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so the clothing brand, how did that work out?
It was pretty good. So what I learned was, it was pretty good because I was designing all my visions, right? I learned how to design everything like from my phone. And then I also found how to get like vendors to make the clothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. First, I tried to do it myself. Like I tried to sew and everything like that. And I'm like, man, it's going to take me like 5-10 years before be able to make like, 50 pieces, 100 pieces.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I mean? And at least make them look the way I want them to look. So I'm like, damn, what else can I do? So, YouTube University, I went on there, learned how to outsource, and I started outsourcing, and I started having things made and everything like that. And then I ran into a wall where I had to learn more about marketing and then also the timing of everything. You know what I mean? So
elaborate on that.
So marketing, right? So all right, the timing of everything, meaning like designing the clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knowing when to design the clothes, have them outsourced, and then start to pre-sell them and also market them so that everything just flows correctly. Because if you don't do it, you'll be in debt a lot longer than you will be in profit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know about you, but I didn't have like 50 to 100 grand at the time to invest in that. And like when you're outsourcing the way I was, like out the country, you had to buy in bulk. So you had to spend $5 grand on like a set of shorts, like 4 designs, you know what I mean? So with that being said, I didn't have the money to be able to design all my stuff and then have them sent over to me and then market them and then hope that they all sold. So I figured out that I had to, and I figured out this after I already lost I probably lost like 15 grand.
Oof.
Yeah, like 15 grand. So
you were trying. You were actively working on it.
Yeah, and I still have like literally clothes in boxes that still haven't been like sold. Like I have kids' sweatsuits, short sets, hoodies, and all that stuff. Like I definitely never didn't give up. You know what I mean? I was selling them out of the car, out of the trunk, and all that stuff. But like I said, then I started doing Turo. But before I switch over to that though, so you had to design the clothes, right? So I used to design the clothes on my phone, and then I would send them over to vendors out the country, and then they'll send me their remock up, and I'll have to tell them like, oh, fix this, fix that, whatever, until they get it right. And then once they get it right, then they'll be like, all right, I have to send you a sample. So then the sample takes 2 or 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Sometimes longer, depending on who it is. And then so it's just what the timing was a big thing, bro, a big thing. So if I was to when I do it all over again, I have a game plan. I'm not giving that game plan out yet. Can't too many people watching, but I'm gonna come back stronger than ever, man. I just gotta get all my other ducks in a row before I jump back into that, because that's big.
There is a plan to have a resurgence for
Yes.
it. Okay, very cool. And I want to see how that pans out. I want to see some of the clothing that you have. I was trying to find it on Instagram, but did you archive that profile?
Archived it.
Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
The profile's still up there. I still have one picture up of myself with the one blue sweatsuit short set on, but I archived everything else.
Very dope, man. And so hopefully you get to do that resurgence and we get to see more clothing. I love when a clothing brand works out and to hear that how it worked out, So marketing was kind of the biggest issue in the first go around, essentially.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
It's all trial and error, man. Trial and error. But I'm glad you're not giving up on it. It's still something that you want to do. So after that, how old were you at the time, by the way, with the clothing?
I was 21.
21.
Yeah, I was like 2021. Yeah.
So 2021, and then you switch over to Turo. You get into car rental business.
Yep.
And how did you find that niche?
YouTube.
Okay. Yo, YouTube, you're a winner today.
Yo, YouTube. Come on, man. I need to sponsor over there after this one. But yeah, man, YouTube. I just watched videos on YouTube of people doing it. And these people were doing it like in like Miami and California and stuff like that. Like there wasn't really in Philly or nothing like that yet. And I did it. I bought a car. And then I put it on Turo, and it was just going out every week. Next thing you know, after 6 months, I bought another car, and that was going out every week. And I was like, well, shoot, now I need a car for myself. So then I had a girlfriend, whatever. Well, the same girlfriend I have now, actually, to be honest. She had a car, so I would just use her car to get around. And then she was like, I want to make money too. So I was like, all right, fuck it. Let's put your car on there too. So that Turo thing, man, it just really blew up. And then
how does that work essentially? You buy the cars and then you rent them out to people like a Airbnb, but for cars?
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking crazy.
So let me break it down.
And you deliver the car to the people, or they come and pick it up?
Either or.
Jeez.
Either or. So you literally you post your car on the app, you post it for a price, you post the availability dates, and then people just literally search and they find your car, they book it. Before you had to approve or decline the request. Now on Turo, you don't approve or decline, they just automatically get to get the car. If it's up, they get to get the car. Yeah,
That's
you don't
crazy.
get to look over the person if you really want them to rent and everything like that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a drastic change.
Yeah, that's very drastic. That's why I was just like, cause I was just about to get back into it again.
Yeah.
Like a couple months ago, and I saw that, and I was like, I'm gonna wait, because before, when you was able to accept and decline, you was able to decide if like you had time to get the car where it needed to be and everything like that. Like, but now they just like, if you have the car up there, you have to be available. We have to make sure the car is available, and you lose stars if you don't
have it ready.
Yeah. So yeah, it's basically just like Airbnb. You know, it gets booked. You make sure it's ready. You make sure it's clean. It gets back. You clean it out. Get it ready for the next time.
Wow, that's crazy.
Super
and
simple.
How long did you do that?
I did that for almost 2 years.
And did you do you have to be a brand ambassador? What's the process of like getting on that program and doing it yourself? Anyone can do it?
Anyone can do it. Bro.
No prerequisites necessary.
Nope.
Just other than having a car.
A car and insurance and the registration. And that's it.
Can I hear some stories about the car coming back? Are there some good, the
Bro.
bad, the ugly? I want to hear where this car has gone.
I had this one situation where someone had a car and they just like kept extending it. And I'm like, all right, man, it's more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then I'm also wondering, like, where is my car? Like, what are they doing with it? So long story short, the last extension they tried to do, the car didn't work that they had on file. So I had to go find the car. But I had a tracker on it though.
Okay.
So I had a tracker. So I knew essentially where the car was, but they were going all over the place, like Jersey and everything like that. So long story short, I had to go find the car. I had a double set of keys. So I found the car. I picked it up. It was over like by like a bowling alley or something like that. And it was trash, bro. It was trash. So they had like all these glass, what is it called?
The shooters, like the bottles?
No, like these glass things like you do like crack out of.
Oh, a crack pipe.
Yeah, basically a crack pipe. Yeah, it was a crack pipe, bro. So
Holy shit.
They had like crack pipe under the thing. They had like little baggies everywhere. And I'm just like, bro, it was doing crack in my car.
Wow.
So that right there made me almost like, I was like, man, I'm done. But I was like, nah.
That didn't make you pull the plug?
Nah, man.
What made you pull the plug?
So this is what made me pull the plug. So that happened. Boom, I got my car back, whatever. This one other time, it's snowing now. I had a Kia Forte or Rio, whatever. It was actually my girl's car. Mm-hmm. Someone was driving it and they slid and they flew into a tree, right?
Wow.
They totaled the car. And I was like, at this point, I'm like, damn, like now that's income taken away from this car. Mm-hmm. A car that we drive, woody woo whoop. So I'm like, damn, I think I might be done after this. And just so happens that this is when the pandemic was like at the top of its thing, whatever. Mm. And the car was worth more than what we paid for it. Mm. So when they totaled the car, we got back like an extra $4 or $5,000 for the car. So I was like, damn, should I buy another one and just put it back on there again? Or just like, but at the time, like I said, cars was worth, it cost a lot more for the cars that they actually were worth. Yes. So it didn't make sense to buy another car at the time after we just made the money from off that one. So we just pocketed the money and I was just like, yeah, I think I'm done, bro. So, actually before that too, my other car, someone tried to steal it. So I had to figure that out too.
Was it a fancy car? Real fancy car? Sports car?
Yeah, it was a Dodge Charger.
Okay.
Actually, I still have it actually.
Yep. I think I've seen it.
Dodge Charger with white.
Elaborate on how they tried to steal it. How's that?
They rental was over and they didn't return it.
Ooh.
They didn't return it.
So what'd you have to do? Call the cops?
I had to take care of it, man. I had to take care of it. That's all I
got that. I love to hear that. Speaking about the cops, how about yesterday? I don't know if you guys got that alert. I know.
What, the 911 emergency call is not working? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
If that happened in Philly, bro, that would be like...
Bro, it happened... I don't know if it happened nationwide or just statewide.
I mean, it said just Scranton on ours.
Oh, okay.
Maybe if it happened nationwide, that's insane.
Huh.
That's insane because like...
That's how the purge happens.
I was about to say that. Yeah. It's the first thing. And that's like a warning almost like, so the purge can really happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I think at that point, do you send out the message or do you just stay quiet?
I know, right?
I don't know. That's weird. That is
I stayed quiet. I just looked at it and it's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was a thunderstorm coming or something.
Yeah, right? Because usually when you hear that, it's like a storm or something. Yeah, but no.
I also thought that they were just testing the weather system because of what horrifically has happened in Texas recently. Like, That shit.
The flood stuff?
The flood, man. That flood is horrific. I don't know if I've been sort of keeping up with it. I actually came across a photo today that there was a car completely buried underwater. Not underwater, under sand. Okay,
that's crazy.
It was on its side, and you can see the tires on the surface, and the passenger door, and it was pretty bad. Like if you actually see a video of it happening live and in color, like in a matter of like 36 seconds, like the amount of water that rushed through there is it's horrific. It really is. So
yeah, it's crazy.
I was like, I thought that's what was happening yesterday, but I guess it was the fact that the police weren't. I thought that they were also testing the system because there's a lot of talks about why people weren't notified and stuff like that. A lot of weird things happen in this world, but I'm not going to get conspiracy on you guys because there's a lot of shit going on right now.
I was about to say, how are you with that stuff? Like,
well, one of the biggest conspiracies that I'm on right now is, if we're going to go there, is the Epstein list apparently not existing anymore. I don't know if you've heard about that. So I was just like, I've just come across things on my social media, and I've been keeping up with that. I remember them saying the Epstein list is right on my desk, we'll get it out, Now, all of a sudden, there's no list, okay? But yet, there's a person in jail for transportation of prostitution with the fucking Epstein whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. But you mean to tell me there's no list? So who the hell are they transporting the people to?
Right.
Fucking bullshit, bro. Fucking nonsense. So
it's higher power, man. The higher power is controlling. And we ain't talking about the higher power that controls everything. We're talking about the higher power that has this power.
The elites, the world's elitists.
Yeah.
It's such bullshit.
Money controls the world, man. Sadly.
It's disgusting. It really is. It really is. And I saw that you put up a post saying that money isn't the goal, it's more so a tool.
Yep.
And you acknowledge that you work with money and you're like, that's a tool for me. So you ended the Toro in the peak of COVID. What were you doing in the meantime? Were you actively working as well while doing the Toro, or that was your main source of income?
That was one of my main sources of income.
Jeez. And then so
I was also doing like a lot of side stuff. Like I was selling AirPods and stuff like that. Like I was coming across a whole bunch of different ways to make money. That's just always been me. Like, but that stuff I wouldn't really count as like, entrepreneurship endeavors. I mean, that's still a form of entrepreneurship, but yeah.
It's a side hustle.
Yeah, it's a side hustle, bro. Like I was just selling AirPods and all types of things, man. Just making money. But Toro was my main, Toro was my paycheck. Like Toro was, I was making money. I was making like $1,200 every week almost. Every week.
That is wicked, man. I never even knew that was a thing. So it's basically just what's that one thing? Enterprise. It's Enterprise.
Yeah, Enterprise.
But Airbnb style.
Exactly.
That is insane.
Exactly.
I'm about to rent a Lamborghini or something.
Yeah. and it's crazy because Toro's, what made me look at Toro was also me still thinking like, what do I love to do, and what are the things that I love that I can still make money from? Mm-hmm. I love cars. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I could just, because I was going to go on a way bigger scale than what I was. Like I was going to try to get like 20, 50 cars. And then by the time I got to 20 cars, I was going to have exotic cars. Like I still am going to do that. But yeah, it just didn't work out like that. But that was my way of getting into cars and loving it and making money even passively. You know
what's your dream car? If you could add a car to that arsenal that you wouldn't rent to no one at all.
If my dream car, I don't know, I love so many cars. My dream car would probably be like the Bugatti.
Bugatti. Okay.
Yeah.
I respect that. Colo, what's your dream car? You're a big car guy over there. He's falling asleep. Okay. Wake up.
Dream car is the 93 Toyota Supra. That would be my dream car.
93 Toyota
Supra. Yeah. It's a sick car.
Have you found one at all?
He's a car enthusiast.
Nah, they still go for around like $40K and like roughed up condition. So if you want a pristine one, it's up
I'll
there.
give you a loan. We'll get it done. I got you.
Shit, why not?
My dream car was a Dodge Challenger. It was. Not anymore though. No, it was a Dodge Charger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a Dodge Charger. That was my dream car. Ford Raptor. I want a Ford Raptor. I want a nice.
It's your dream car?
Yeah. I want a Ford Raptor. That shit's fucking wicked.
Yeah, those are nice, man.
Or I like the BMWs too. I like the 328i's. I like those too.
You see the TRXs?
I don't think I have. He probably has. I'm like a fake car guy. You feel me?
The Elephant. You seen the Elephant? Bro, you might not want the Raptor no more. You see the Elephant. It's like a Hellcat pickup truck.
Really?
Yeah.
Made by Dodge or?
Yeah, it's from Dodge. Yeah.
All right, I'll have to check that out. The Elephant. So we went from the Hellcat to the Elephant.
To the Elephant.
The Elephant. I like that. Hit that bell for me one time right there. The fucking Elephant. That bell is golden, man. That bell is golden. So next thing on the to-do list, your entrepreneurship endeavor, you know, you're ending Toro. You got a little bit of money in your pocket. Are you actively like, are you need to get back to work, or you got some time to just hang out a little bit and figure it out?
I had some time to hang out a little bit and figure it out. I definitely had some money saved up. Because at the same time, man, I was like moving back and forth from like here to Philly. So it was a lot going on. I lost my closest friends. Yeah, I lost my closest friends around that time. My friend Tata, Kaz. Yeah, it was a lot going on.
It was a rough time.
But yeah, so I took the time to figure those things out, and then all within that time too. Well, a little bit before that time, I was painting. So this is how the painting thing came along.
Yes.
My dad started the business way back when, like 2017 or whatever. But I wasn't really into it. I was playing basketball. So let's just reverse a little bit. And I would help him a little bit on the weekends just to help him, but I wasn't really into it. So
who wants to watch paint dry?
Yeah, who want to watch paint dry, bro? I'm worried about basketball and all the other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I wasn't really into it. Whatever. Years fast forward, I get a little older. I'm into entrepreneurship. He's like, yo, come help me again. I start helping him. I start actually working with him a lot more. This is when the downtime that I had. Start working with him a lot more, start learning more of the techniques and stuff like that. So all in the midst of that, right? A year or two go by. Now I'm thinking we're in like 2022, I think. And he gets arrested again, right?
Come on, Dad.
Yeah, this time is not his fault though. I will say that. It wasn't his fault. He was actually framed. He was actually framed by his fiance.
Whoa. Oh shit. Can we hear about this? Can we spill some tea?
Yeah, I mean,
Sort of,
yeah,
kinda.
I mean, it's like a 50-50 thing. Like at first, it's one of those things like everybody need to know.
Yeah.
And now it's like,
I gotcha.
you feel me? I don't know. So, but basically, yeah, like framed by his fiance. So he didn't actually do anything. The police was also involved. They kind of knew that they was
framing him.
Yeah.
What?
And but when they found out, it was kind of like too late. So they didn't want to look like they weren't doing their job right and all that. So long story short, he sat in jail for 2 years, right? Wow. So it got to the point where like, the pressure was on me. It was like, you either want to keep this business going or you're going to let it fall and keep doing whatever you were doing before. So I was like, dang, like I know this is kind of his like, his way of living. It was his way of living. Yeah. Like that was really his baby. Like he went from doing whatever he was doing before to just painting. He was like, I'm gonna put my all into painting. Kind of like with me, came from basketball. I'm like, I'm gonna put my all into entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? So that's what he did. So I was like, after he's about to lose whatever he's about to lose going through the situation, I don't want him to lose anything more. You know what I mean? And then I also knew he needed to be taken care of. You know what I mean? And I was the only one that was gonna do that because he doesn't have almost any family, honestly. So I knew I was his backbone. So I took over the company. At the time we was in the middle of a big job. Like it was the Betty Street Apartments. It was like 26 apartments or something like that. And it was only like maybe halfway, a quarter done, if that. And I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know that much. So long story short, I had to hire people that really knew what they were doing. I had to pay them a very good penny for it to get done right. So we lost a lot of money on that job, but the job got done. The name stayed good. That's all that mattered. And yeah, so my dad was incarcerated for 2 years, so I took over that. And within that 2 years, though, after catching on and learning how to do everything the right way, I 10x the business. I got 10x the business. I made the business.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? I'm not familiar.
I made the business 10 times.
10 times larger.
10 times larger. Like 10 times larger.
And how'd you do that?
Bro, just honestly, just being myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like at first there was no like blueprint. There was no like, oh, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. It was just like, I'm in it. I'm just gonna keep going the way it was going. And that was it. And then I'm a personable person, you know what I mean? So it just went from meeting one person to meeting another and people just liking me. And it was like, all right, well, I want you to get this job. I want you to get that job. Woody, woody, whoop. So it went like that. And then that's when I started actually strategizing everything. You know what I mean? Just getting the website up and just making it look like more of a business rather than just
a card.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
a card or it's a person who just has this, hey, like, give me a call if you need painting. You know what I mean? It's more of like a broad business. You can look us up. You can find us. You could call us for any and everything. You know, now we're on lifts. We're painting Steamtown malls. We're painting restaurants. We're doing all that type of stuff. So that's how that painting business got into touring.
10x. I like how you said that. It was all like organic growth, essentially.
Yep. Organic growth definitely was.
And keeping the name high and keeping the name reputable, especially with that job in the midst of what happened to your father.
Right.
For you to recognize that, hey man, I might be losing some money here, but at least the name of our company is going to stay up and stay afloat, and people will recommend.
Right.
You know, because I'm sure that's a big part of your business is recommendations.
Right.
You know, people just, hey, who would you get to paint this? Are we Painting Unlimited, correct?
We Paint Unlimited.
We Paint Unlimited. My apologies. We Paint Unlimited. So, and they would call you guys out, man. That's really dope. And some of the projects that you've done, I have a handful that you sent over for me. The Steamtown, Sambuca, which I've never been in, bro.
So good.
Talk to me about Sambuca. It's right here. It's right around the corner.
That's crazy. Never
it's
been
like,
there.
I feel like that's one of those places that I need to take someone on a date. You know, it's not one of those places that I just go in there by myself and be like, hi, let me have some, what do they serve? Pasta and stuff, right? It's really
It's an Italian restaurant.
Very nice, very nice. And you make these connections with these people. And how has that benefited you as a person and in the business?
It benefited me as a person because I also pick brains. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, so I found out how they got to where they got to and why. You know what I mean? Like what made them get there, how they got there. So that, I don't know, I just take from what they tell me and I apply it to my life, all the positive things at least. And like.
What was one of the most surprising stories that you heard while, you know, connecting with a client and hearing their story as to how they started?
The most surprising one was this guy who owns a bunch of property and real estate, and I think he owns a couple restaurants too. And he was telling me about how like he was an immigrant when he came over here, and he basically had no one, and he like just worked, and he saved all his money up, and then he became a citizen, or I forget what they actually call it after that. I think it's citizen.
I think it's citizen. Yeah.
Yeah. So he became a citizen or whatever, and he just started investing. He's like he invested every penny into, I think it was. He invested every penny into something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but my whole thought process was like, okay, you put your all into one thing and you just hope for the best. And obviously you did the calculations a little bit.
Out, yeah.
You know what I mean? And just paid off. Like now he's on top. He passed everyone just by keeping his head down and just going for it rather than just playing around and just hoping for the best. You know what I mean? And within, I think it was like 5 years, it was like between 5 to 10 years he did it. 5 to 10 years, bro. He's a millionaire.
Is that your approach in entrepreneurship? Maybe like keep your head down and just keep moving forward?
1,000%, bro.
Yeah.
1,000%. Just keep your head down, keep moving forward, stay focused as much as possible. Also celebrate. You have to celebrate because if not, like mental health is a real thing. Like, so you have to make sure your mind is clear. And when I say celebrate, I don't mean like you have to go out drinking or anything like that, but just do whatever to help your mental stay level and good, honestly. Like, so me, I go to the gym every day. So like, that's one of my celebrations. You know what I mean? That's more than my celebrations that help me just stay, what's that word I'm looking for?
Grounded.
Stay grounded. Exactly. Stay grounded because as you can see from before this thing started, one little text or call, you know, can just throw you all the way off, bro. And then when you have multiple businesses and multiple things going on, you get those calls and texts all day, every day. So you have to get regrounded before you move on with your day. So that's what the gym is for me. So I usually go to the gym every day before I go home. So I have a family at home, I have my girlfriend, I have my daughter. And like, I don't want that energy going home to them. You know what I mean? Like, they don't deserve that. They didn't do anything to me for me to act like that towards them. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's just like my reset button. But when I say to celebrate though, it's just like, do whatever that you need to do to help yourself stay grounded, but also don't do it too much. You know what I mean? Don't overindulge, especially if it's something financially. Like you want to make sure you're not spending all the money that you're grinding and keeping your head down for. So
That's some great advice, man. That's some great advice.
Yeah.
So mental health is extremely important to you. You know, going through these businesses as you take, I'm sure you've taken some L's, right?
1,000%.
You know, for me in my company, in my business and atmosphere, you know, we've been experiencing some L's, and we've just been delivered our first L, you know, not too long ago. But what I will say about my group of people and the guys that I work with is I am extremely proud that we were able to find like the small things, even if it's not as we envisioned the night, we always find something to make it a highlight and have a good time out of it,
Right.
you know. But at the same time, we still got to go back and, you know, rework our plan, see what's working, see what's not working. It's extremely stressful, man. But the mental
Right.
health part of it is definitely like key. And I don't know, me speaking personally, I really don't know how I take care of my mental health, if I'm being honest with you, if I'm being completely 100% transparent right now. Because I feel like it's every day, it's kind of a routine of doing what I have to do and talking to this person, talking to that person, dealing with this problem, dealing with that problem. Like I just said it the other day in the middle of the week, I ended up tearing up out of frustration because of everything that's going on within what we're doing outside of the podcast, whether it be festival, events, whatever. And yeah, I fucking teared up in the morning. I was so freaking mad. And I was like, I can't wait for this show to be done with because the stress, the relief that's going to come out of it is going to be monumental, bro. So like, I don't know. I think I do have a hard time trying to check on my mental health. I kind of just push through. And I said it the other day, like I tend to be the person that if you're having a bad day,
take it on.
I'm going to come in and make your day better. And I'm going to, you know, make you laugh because that's just who I am, bro. I always try to be high energy.
Same.
But I'm very fearful of the day that I need that. I'm extremely fearful. As of recent, I'm extremely fearful of that. And I think the person, whether it be a soulmate or a friend, I need to find that person who can be that person for me. Because I find myself being that person for them all the time.
So I'm the same exact way. I'm an empath. So it's like you can't necessarily look for that person, just look for that thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when I was going through what I was going through with my dad, right? He was that person, but it's also to a certain extent because I couldn't call him when I needed him. You know what I mean? I couldn't. And when I talked to him, I didn't want to talk to him about anything I actually was feeling and going through because look where he's at. You know what I mean? So it's like I didn't want him to feel any worse than so I just kept taking it in. So I found this thing called the flotation. You ever did flotation therapy before?
No.
So it's right there at the Giving Tree. You literally go into a pod and you just turn the lights off. It's Epsom salt in the bath, I think.
Okay.
And you just lay in there and you float and it's just quiet in the dark. Like it sounds crazy.
Yeah.
You go in the pod, you lay down, you can close it or leave it open, but you just float in it for like about, I think it's a 30-minute session and an hour session. And that was like my reset. That was my therapy. Like I would just turn my brain off.
That's crazy.
Just turn my brain off, bro. And I was doing that like almost every month. And it's only like
once a month.
Yeah, it's only like $50 or I think it might be a little higher now, like $80 though. But that was one of the things I did, bro, because like I was going through that with him, and then also like, you know, my friends. I was, because I'm not gonna say I am, but I was constantly like losing people, like whether they were super close to me or like family or like it's just constantly losing people, and then people just going through things and they'll call me. I'm the first person they call just to tell me about it, and like they're not thinking like, oh, like this is probably hurting him, you know what I mean, or like not like that, because I feel emotions, bro. Like when people tell me stuff, like I feel what they're feeling, so I'm like. I'm just giving them advice, giving it back to them, and that's really the best I can do. But I had to stop doing that to a certain extent, though. So it was like, I gotta take care of myself first. You know what I mean? Like if you constantly keep taking on everyone else's stuff, not thinking that it's affecting you, it really is affecting you. You gotta take care of yourself first, because if you're not good, no one else is good. You know what I mean? That's the mindset you gotta have. And you really have to find that thing that grounds you and clears your mind and make sure that you don't crash out. You know what I mean? Because the reason why these YNs is crashing out, everybody like, yo, why are these kids doing it? Why are these kids doing this? Why are these kids doing that? It's because you don't know what's happening under their roof. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whatever's happening under their roof, they don't have anything to go back from and clear their mind from it. You know what I mean? Or make them feel a sense of safety. So all they feel is the only thing they feel that gives them. You're good at finding my words. Gives them like that. I know I put you on the spot
reset,
now.
That reset, you know, or gives them that adrenaline,
gives them that
kick in the ass.
Validity.
Okay, validation.
Validation. Yeah. Gives them that validation would be doing some stuff that they see on Instagram and all that. You know what I mean? Like going to go shoot somebody or going to go sell drugs, whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like something like that, and it gives them that validation that helps them feel better or whatever.
That's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Validation for a flex, you know?
Exactly. Rather than having a good head on their shoulder or someone telling them like,
problematic.
Hey, go do this. This might help you. You know what I mean? So.
I get what you're saying, bro. I get what you're saying. Like I've said it recently. I've say it again. I'm one crash out away.
Yeah.
I'm one crash out away, man. It's just like, you know, it's been crash out, lock in, crash out, lock in, crash out, lock in. And my crash out isn't like fucking like I'm gonna go crazy, but I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna have to scream it out for a little bit, just like by myself, or express it to my partners and be like, this is what the F is going on, guys. This is how I'm feeling about it. It's not towards you, but I just need you to hear me and let out this frustration because otherwise it's not going to be going anywhere to a good spot, you know? So I'd rather just project it out, not to the person directly, but just like in the room of people who can kind of understand what I'm going through. And I've learned that entrepreneurs, you have a better connection with them because they are familiar with the type of, you know, headaches and the challenges that come with this type of lifestyle and what we're trying to achieve here and embark on, because they can relate. You know, if you're talking to someone who isn't in the same realm, they might not be able to relate as well. And, you know, now you're just
talking in circles.
Projecting. Yeah, exactly. Very
to them,
much
at
so.
least.
But, you know, with that being said, let's tune into Tea Time, not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea. So cheers, my friend.
Cheers, man.
Shake it up. Here we go.
We got half and half iced tea, strawberry lemonade.
ASMR for my people, and we have a new featured Lego today. This is a bonsai tree that I bought from the American Tree Mall, and we also have this this cathedral that, shout out Nicole, Miss Nicole Incarnato. She just came back from Germany. It's from Barcelona. My buddy was in Germany for over a year and some change for the military. And, you know, she went around, she traveled, she checked out a handful of places, and she got me this statue here.
That's dope.
Of a cathedral in Barcelona. I guess it is called, I'm not even going to try to say that.
Try it.
Sagrada Familia. I know that, but La Facha, everyone who is Spanish is probably like, Kev, shut up. La Fachada del... I'm not. Nacimiento? Sagrada Familia, Barcelona.
That's not that bad.
She gave me that. She gave me a hat from Germany. She got me, you know, this coaster here from Ireland, you know. So shout out, Nicole. I'm glad you're back. Extremely glad you're back because that is my pal. So with that being said, we'll get into tea time. Not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea. We have the teapot here. There's a handful of questions. Nas, if you could just pick one for me and hand me the paper, we'll see what we get for today. There are fresh questions in here today. I added some new ones. Let's see what we get.
Do I gotta read it or you read it?
My handwriting isn't the best. So I read it. All right, so the tea time question of the day. This is a great question. If you could have every bad memory erased, would you?
No.
No, absolutely not. Very quick on that response. Why is that?
Because just like business, you know, you don't get good at business or being an entrepreneur without failures. You know, you learn from your mistakes. So, as bad memories, they help build your character. So, without bad memories, a lot of good parts of your character won't be created.
I agree with that.
That makes sense?
I agree with that statement entirely. Because, like, you know, you tend to learn every loss comes with a lesson, right?
Right.
And it's not a loss, it's a lesson. That's why that's what the L is for, you know?
It's not a loss, it's a lesson.
So, definitely not taking those bad experiences and wiping them clean of your memory is definitely a key development to who you are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think when you have a bad memory, you think about how it made you feel.
Right.
And, you know, what was going on and everything like that. And with that, you get compassionate for a certain scenario that you may have been in the past, but it's not actively happening to you, but you can relate with the other person and understand where they're coming from because of that bad memory.
Right.
Well put together.
Wow, I was about to say, you just killed my answer.
Yeah. Well put together, man. So, yeah, no, if it were me, I'm not getting rid of my bad memories. Colo, are you getting rid of your bad memories? If you could erase all of them, not one, just all of them.
Nah, I'll keep them.
You would keep them.
Yeah, just to have that lesson learned.
Let me ask a question to the room here. If the question were different and it said you can erase one bad memory, do you think you can pick one and single one out to decide I don't want that memory in my life?
So look, are you just erasing the memory or are you erasing the thing that actually...
I think you erased...
the actually thing that happened, like it never happened.
Let's say it never happened, because if you're erasing the memory, then it never happened, right?
Not necessarily. Because if you erase your memory, that means you're just forgetting about it.
Let's say just erasing the memory. I kind of like the premise of it actually did happen.
Yeah. Okay.
So
one thing.
Yeah. If you had to pick one that you can erase the memory of. It's a hard one. That's a hard question. I'm even thinking myself, if we can't come up with one, we'll just move on from tea time.
Yeah.
That's a tough question right there.
Yeah, I don't know if I can find one memory that I just want to forget. Because honestly, I already have bad memory. So
right. What'd you do yesterday? I think I did this. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, my memory is already terrible, bro. So it's
I'll say this. It's really weird. It's kind of traumatizing, I guess. I remember as a child and up to now that I used to have this very vivid dream. Okay. And it involved my stepfather, and it was nothing like crazy in my opinion, but for some reason I remember it. And I would always wake up at this specific part. But it was like we were doing something, like he needed help with something. And, I was being an extra hand. And I remember like constantly it would get to a point where I had to hand him a tool or something. And then it would just like turn into a rage. Like I gave him the wrong tool or something. And then I would just get really bad and I'll wake up. Never understood the point of that dream. Never understood where it came from. I wouldn't say my stepdad was a bad man. He pretty much, he raised me like my own, like I was his own. And I honestly didn't even know he was my stepdad until like years later, because I thought that it was like that. But yeah, something about that, I think still sits in my head. And I don't know why or where it came from, but I would get rid of that because there's no answer to it. And I think it bothers me to this day as to what that was and why it was a reoccurring thing. It wasn't just a one and done. So that's my one memory that I would get rid of. And with that being said, that was Tea Time. Not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea.
Arizona Iced Tea.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, shit.
Bro, I didn't drink one of these since, I don't know.
What does that bring you back to? What core memory in your life? Bacon, egg, and cheese? What are we talking?
Bacon, egg, and cheese from the Poppy store. Just take me back to like...
Where the cat's on the bread?
Whoa.
Yeah, no, in the Poppy store, bro.
The cat's in the bread.
Yeah, why every time I walk in the store, the cat's on the bread? That's a comedy joke, if you don't know.
It's taking me back to when me and my brother, basically like my brother Tyree, we used to share $5 cheesesteak platters. $5 cheesesteak platters, bro. And, And that was in like 2014.
Prime time.
2015, something like that. My timing is so off when it comes to stuff, but back in the days, prime time for sure, man. I built that character right there, man. Sharing $5 cheesesteak platters and getting Arizona, $1 Man, I remember those days.
The good old days, man. I love hearing how nostalgic it is for people when they drink it. It's like, yo, I haven't had one of these in this long. I haven't had one of these in that long, man. And to be able to hear everyone's story as to what memory it bring them back to is like, it's really cool.
Right.
I can kind of picture you being there with your homie eating a $5, cheesesteak platter with an Arizona, just sitting there on a porch, like whether it be on a porch sidewalk in Philly, I'm assuming.
Yep, in Philly.
Yeah, right in the city, bro. Just walking around, trying to fight the heat.
Trying to fight the heat, trying to fight the life.
Staying out of trouble, man. So, we Paint Unlimited, you have that. And then you also have an oil company, a cooking oil company. That is a very unique niche. I know it's definitely one of those essential jobs that is out there that people need. How did you start developing that, and how long have you been in it?
I started developing the oil company about September of last year, and that's how long I've been in it. We found out about it through a friend of mine, and we just like ran with it after that. Like we went to Colorado because we heard about that part, cooking oil part, right? And we're like, all right, well, how bigger could it get? Like how we want to do more. You
What's
know what
the
I
cap?
mean?
Yeah, where's the
like
ceiling?
we want to do more. Like if we're gonna do oil, let's do all oil. So we were like, let's do all oil. So we made a couple phone calls and we met this guy named Rob, and he owns the Denver Oil. So we went to Colorado to go, for him to teach us everything, like how it goes and what you need to do and his whole setup and everything like that. So we did that. That went really well. We were ready to go. We were ready to start. And then we just like, all right, let's just figure out like how we really want to start. Cause that's a big jump. Like the actual oil business is big. Like it's very expensive to get into. Like the guy at Denver Oil, he's like probably like 2 million in, like on just investments. You know what I mean? Like, and initially you need at least like 500, 800 grand, honestly. Like, cause you gotta have the land, you gotta have the trucks, you gotta have a lot.
Yeah, and you also gotta regulate with code.
Yeah,
there's a huge code part of that. Yep,
exactly. So, because you're talking about hazardous waste now, so we're like, all right, let's take 2 steps back, and let's just do cooking oil, and let's just learn that first. So that's where that started, and we came back here, started the cooking oil thing, and can't really give too much tape on how that works yet because that is something we're also going to sell. We're going to sell the blueprints and courses. I'm also selling blueprints and courses on how to start your own contracting business.
I wanted to get into the mentorship part.
Yes.
So if we're rolling right into that, let's roll right into it.
Yes. So, so with the cooking oil thing, we basically recycle cooking oil from anywhere who has food. You know what I mean? Anywhere that has food. So that's how that goes. I also have a mentorship coming up. It should be a link under this video for you to sign up or request to be in the mentorship. I'm also going to have a course to sell, so you can either do the mentorship or do the course. You choose, if you want to be on your own time and your own route, you do the course. If you want to be overseen and make sure you're doing everything right, you do the mentorship. And it'd be very beneficial. I also help you with setting up your company, getting you funding, and all sorts of things, like literally total 360, get you right.
Nice, man. So you're trying to give people what you didn't have when you initially started.
Exactly.
To help them get one step ahead.
Exactly.
That's awesome, man. And the more you learn that, the more you put it to practice and you're helping other people. And once again, the word is just going to keep spreading, man. So mentorship program, how soon do you plan on launching that?
As soon as possible.
Do you have a name already picked out for it?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. It's just going to be like, can't compare. Yeah, mentorship. Not saying kind of mentorship.
Virtually, virtually or in person. What are you thinking?
The mentorship is going to be 50-50.
Okay.
Because you got to be hands on.
Yes.
The course is going to be virtual. They'll be able to just see everything and Zoom calls, whatever the case may be, and that's really it. Yeah.
What do you think the driving force of that entire mentorship program will be? What do you want people to walk away with when they're done with the program?
I want them to walk away with just being comfortable, like just being comfortable with what they're in and understanding that the sky's the limit, bro. The sky's the limit. Like you get what you put in. You know what I mean, if you put in all the energy, you'll get everything that you can get. You just, I don't know, like
gotta want to go.
You gotta want to go. You gotta. That's one thing. That's why people have to apply to get into the mentorship. Like you can't. This is not just for everyone.
Gotcha.
Like you have to apply. You have to answer certain questions. And then you get approved or you get declined. Simple as that. You know what I mean? Because you got to have the mindset. And if you don't have the mindset, there's something else I'm building to help people get that mindset. You know what I mean? And you also can follow me on Instagram. I post stuff all the time to help people get that mindset of not even just an entrepreneur, but just a positive mindset. To better themselves mentally, physically, spiritually. And my name on Instagram is Can't Compare CEO. And yeah.
Just trying to, bring it all together as a whole because you need everything spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. Yeah. All align yourself.
All aligned.
Yourself. And do you feel aligned?
Yeah, I do.
Good.
I do.
I think you present yourself like you're aligned. I don't think I'm aligned.
That's fine, man. That's fine. As long as you're on the road to be aligned. You know what I mean? Because I also have a fitness thing too, but that's
did see that too.
Kick Compare Fitness. That's why I said like physically as well too, because you got to be aligned, bro. You got to be aligned. And with the fitness thing, that's going to be all free for now. I'm not selling anything. I started selling courses and doing like the online training thing, but it takes a lot of time. And like I'm very passionate with everything I do, and I don't want to half sell anything.
Gotcha.
So if I'm doing it entirely right, putting all my energy into it, and that's just what it's going to be. So with the fitness thing, you can go to King Compare Fitness. There's going to be some videos up that's free, show you how to hit certain muscles and all that type of stuff and how to eat.
An all-around entrepreneur, man. It's been a pleasure having you here, man. We're getting ready to wind down the show here. But before we get off the air, I want you, if there's anything that you want to say to the people watching at home, any closing statements, this is the time. Floor is yours.
I want to say, just stay focused, keep going. No matter what happens in your life, don't let it deter you. Don't let it tear you down. There's always another day. It's always another day. And then the only way you get through the storm is if you just keep fighting through it. It's the only way. Keep your head up, keep walking through it, and then understand there's always a rainbow at the end of it. That's it.
Well said, Nas. It's been a pleasure having you here, man. You definitely have a great head on your shoulders, man. You are a surreal entrepreneur to the max. You know, I really liked all of the talks about physical, mental, spiritually, all aligned. You need to make sure that you're okay so your business can thrive, man. And you definitely have that going for yourself. So once again, it was a pleasure having you here. And I am the man in the middle, Kevin Martinez, signing out. Peace.